Hello, my name is Sam, and I'm going to be taking you through the Sport Concussion Assessment Tool, the 6th version. The first section of the SCAT6 is to fill out the personal information of the athlete. This is something that the athletic trainer can assist the athlete in doing. In the next section, you will be taking a concussion history of the athlete by asking them these questions. If this is an immediate assessment, you will take a neuro screening. This is not required at baseline. Ideally, this section would be used as your on-field assessment. This will give you a guideline as to whether or not the athlete should return to play. Next, you will complete Step 1, Observable Signs. In this section, you can circle the Y for yes and N for no. Step 2 includes the Glasgow Coma Scale. Typically, the GCS is assessed once. Additional scoring columns are provided for monitoring over time if needed. Note the time of the assessment, the date of the assessment, and circle the number of the score according to the eye response, verbal response, and motor response. Once you have scored each category, you will add the scores together and enter them at the bottom of the chart. In the top right corner of the page, box 1 indicates any red flags that the athletic trainer or clinician that is doing the evaluation should take note of. The next step is a cervical spine assessment. In a patient who is not lucid or fully conscious, a cervical spine injury should be assumed and spinal precautions taken. Ask if the patient has any neck pain at rest and if there is any tenderness to palpate. If there is no pain or tenderness at rest, have the athlete go through an active, full range of motion. I will give a visual demonstration of how this assessment can be done. Can you look over your left shoulder? Have any pain with that?
Nope.
Look over your right shoulder? Have any pain with that?
Nope.
Look all the way up and all the way down. Good. Any pain with that?
Nope.
And then bring one ear to your shoulder. The other side. Good. Any pain? Yep. Step 4 is the coordination and ocular motor screen. I will give a visual demonstration of how this can be assessed. This test, you're going to bring your finger to your nose, each side. Good. Now close your eyes and do the same thing. Step 5 is the memory assessment Maddox questions. These questions can be tailored to be sport-specific depending on the type of athlete you are assessing. If the athlete answers the question correctly, you will circle a 1. If not, you will circle a 0. There is a total of 5 points you can accumulate in this section. Document your score at the bottom of the chart. This concludes the on-field assessment. The following steps are used for the off-field assessment. Step 1 is the athlete background. Be sure to document any notes and current medications that the athlete is taking. Step 2 is the symptom evaluation. Be sure to indicate when this evaluation was taken. You can hand this section to the athlete to fill out on their own. Once the athlete has completed the checklist, you will add up the total number of symptoms out of 22. You will also add up all of the numerical values to get your symptom severity score out of 132. In this case, the total number of symptoms was 4 and the symptom severity score was 4. Step 3 is the cognitive screening orientation questions. If answered correctly, circle the 1. If answered incorrectly, circle 0. Mark the total score at the bottom of the chart. This section is out of 5 points. Now I will give a demonstration of this assessment. I'm going to ask you a couple orientation questions. First, what month is it?
July.
And what is the date today? The 8th. What is the day of the week?
Wednesday.
What year is it?
2026.
And within 1 hour, what time do you think it is right now?
4 p.m.
Next is the immediate memory section. Choose list A, B, or C and administer this section at a rate of 1 word per second. Now I will demonstrate how to conduct this assessment. You will repeat the list before each trial.
When I'm done, repeat
back as many words as you can remember in any order. Jacket, arrow, pepper, cotton, movie, dollar, honey, mirror, saddle, anchor.
Jacket, arrow, anchor, movie,
If a word is repeated back, circle 1. If it is not, circle 0. At the end of each trial, write the trial total at the bottom of each column. Once all 3 trials are complete, you will total up the immediate memory score. This will be out of 30. Be sure to document the time the last trial was completed. Next, you will assess concentration. You will administer one of the lists of numbers at the rate of 1 digit per second, reading down the selected column. If a string is completed correctly, move on to the next higher number of digits. If the string is completely incorrect, use the alternate string with the same number of digits. If this has failed again, end the test. I will now demonstrate how to do this assessment. Now I'm going to read you a string of numbers, and when I'm done, you repeat them back to me in reverse order of how I read them to you. For example, if I say 719, you would say 917. So if I said 968, you would say
869,
correct. 493,
394,
3814,
4183,
62971,
17926,
718462.
264817.
To score this section, you will circle a Y if the athlete was correct and an N if the athlete was incorrect. 1 point is awarded if the athlete can do this successfully, a 0 if they cannot. Total up the score out of a total of 4 points and document the number at the bottom of the chart. The last section of the cognitive screening includes reading the months in reverse order. For this section, you will need a stopwatch. I will demonstrate how to do this assessment. Now tell me the months of the year in reverse order as quickly and as accurately as possible. Start with the last month and go backwards. So you'll say December, November.
December, November, October, September, August, July, June, May, April, March, February, January.
To score this section, 1 point is awarded if no errors occur and a completion under 30 seconds occurs. Be sure to document the time taken to complete in seconds and the number of errors if there were any. The month score is out of 1, and the total concentration score is the digits plus month score out of 5. Step 4 is the coordination and balance examination. You will use the Modified Balance Error Scoring System, or the MBES test. Fill out the details in this chart. I will demonstrate how to conduct this assessment. You will need a stopwatch.
We're going to do the double leg stance first. So for this position, you're going to stand feet shoulder width apart, hands on your hips, and your eyes closed. You're going to stand here for 20 seconds. The second stance is a tandem stance. This one includes your non-dominant foot in the back and your dominant foot in the front, touching your heel to your toe. You're going to put your hands on your hips, and you're going to stand for 20 seconds. The next one is a single leg stance. You're going to stand on your non-dominant foot, hands on your hips, trying to keep your leg that's up in line with your body. If you feel at any point like you might fall over, feel free to reset your body in position and start again. We'll be holding this for 20 seconds again.
To score this section, you will indicate the number of errors next to each type of stance. The errors are out of 10. If there are no errors, mark a 0. Document the total errors out of 30 at the bottom of the chart. An optional modification to this test would be to perform the test on foam. If the MBES yields normal findings, then proceed to the tandem gait dual task tandem gait. If the MBES reveals abnormal findings to clinically significant gait assessment, tandem gait assessment, you will need a stopwatch and a 3-meter-long line on the floor or firm surface with athletic tape may be administered later. This task should be timed as needed, and you will complete all 3 trials.
Please walk heel to toe quickly to the end of the tape, turn around and come back as fast as you can without separating your feet or stepping off the line. Go. Okay.
Document the time of each trial in each column. After all 3 trials are completed, you take the average of the 3 trials and the fastest trial, and you document them in their respective columns. Document if you did not complete these steps in this section. Step 5 is delayed recall. The delayed recall should be performed after at least 5 minutes have elapsed since the end of the immediate memory section. I will now demonstrate how to conduct this assessment.
Do you remember the list of words that I read a few times earlier? Tell me as many of the words from the list that you can remember.
Jacket, arrow, dollar, saddle, mirror, honey, pepper. That's it.
Okay. All done.
To score this section, you will award 1 point if a word is repeated back. Ensure that you use the same words list as before. Total up the score and indicate the total at the bottom of the chart next to delayed recall score. This should be out of 10. Now you will document the total cognitive scores for each section. At the end, you will total up the final score out of 50. Be sure to document if the athlete was known to you prior to their injury and if they are different from their usual self. If different, describe why in the clinical notes section. Finally, you will fill out step 6 and indicate each score next to each category. Be sure to date and indicate if the neurological exam was abnormal or normal in an acute injury evaluation only. To finish your documentation procedure, fill out the healthcare professional attestation. Once again, be sure to add any additional clinical notes and findings that you feel necessary to document. This is the end of the SCAT. Thank you.